Ooh. Hi. Yeah, I'm doing both. So we'll see. Oh my god, the background's funny. So now, if people have issues, they can go to the YouTube, I think. Might be. Oops. I don't see anybody yet, so. But hello, I hope everybody had a nice weekend. I think I'm trying to. I look a little bit like ghosty. Maybe I'll go this way. Yeah. So yeah, anyone who's just joining, feel free to ask any questions or topics about energy and spirituality. You can literally ask me anything. I like. It's just little plants that I have, little water plants. Mhm. I'm trying to see what's the best place to how I should sit while I do this. Let's see. I uploaded one of our lives to YouTube, and I also added the moon episode onto whatever you call it, onto YouTube as well. So anyone who's new that's joining, feel free to ask any questions or bring up any spiritual topics. Don't be shy. I'm channeling source by default, but sometimes it'll change, but that's my default set. How's everyone feeling with their energies? There's no one on the YouTube one. What are your thoughts on meditation and connecting with other energies through it? So that's a good question. So basically, the thing with meditation is, I think people are way too strict with meditation, where they think that meditation should be for one thing, and it is a tool for a specific. To me personally, I think the best way to look at it is to expand your POV. So yes, your consciousness is great to expand, and you can do that through reading books and speaking to people, and that makes you more aware of things. When you start to meditate, you are able to, either by accident or on purpose, see with many POVs. So you're not just a human. So the information you're going to get is going to be bigger, and you're going to be able to not even get as really blocked. So sometimes, when I always say to do automatic writing, but sometimes when you're just starting out, it's really helpful to do a meditation for that. So that's what I think of meditation. So I think it's like it's a way to be a bigger versions of yourself, and and be conscious and in control as well, and set intentions, because it is kind of like sleeping. So but the difference is, when you sleep, you don't have control over it until you have, like, you know, you don't, even then you don't, like, even if you have a lucid dream, you still don't have truly control. Um and like I said, it's not everyone, but like typical, like, experiences people have. Obviously, the people who know they're doing jobs and things like that, that's different. That has nothing to do with what we're talking about. But people who are just remembering a random dream or whatever, we are getting those things because we're not being as proactive in life. So the more proactive you are with your POVs and your consciousness, which is also obviously meditation, the more you will be in control of your dreams, and you will be able to understand why you're having it. So, yes, maybe you're not like, oh, I want to go to here and that, and go to that place. But when you have the dream, you'll understand why you're having that dream. Or even if you don't, you have some kind of connection to it. So so people who are really interested in dreams, it's actually really good. It makes it even better. So a lot of people ask me that. They're like, "Okay, so how can I remember my dreams? How can I do lucid dreaming? How can I do all these things?" And to be honest, the way to do that the best, for everyone, is to get to know yourself when you're awake. Because if you don't know who you are and you don't know the structure of dreams, you're not really going to, you know, you're not really going to be able to appreciate it. Um, Today, I kind of took a break today because I was starting to feel kind of upset because the whole spiritual community is so overloaded, and I know that there's the people's are stepping stones for everyone, and there's something for everyone, but it feels a bit lonely sometimes as a practitioner, because I think there's only one person I've seen that is a practitioner that is doing this. And even if they say something that's like pop culture and maybe not that helpful for people, her stuff always ends up being helpful because she has taken time or take the time to understand the structure of something. So even if she translates it into something that's like a normal everyday life kind of thing, she has looked at how things work. Um, I can give the example. So basically, not her, but another content creator is going to do a reply, but I don't think I should because I think a lot of people are feeling this at the moment in their own version. So I'm like, I'm not going to do that because later I'm going to be like, why did I do that? But basically, this creator is doing QHTT. And I personally think that as QHTT stands, I don't think it does anything for people to expand and learn about themselves and to feel fully empowered and be able to do spirituality by themselves. I feel like they are still going to feel like they need to keep coming. Now, the fact that it even exists and someone studied it, some people studied it in general, and people are starting by thinking past lives, but it's not past lives, it is parallel lives. I think that's a great opportunity for stepping stones. But when someone is a practitioner, they're giving a service to someone, they're supposed to be giving a service to someone, and they themselves have not looked at the structure of what's going on, nature, even like if they had the session, they should have looked into that, right? And the problematic part is that person had a session and she's literally just telling her, okay, close your eyes, we're going to do this, okay, we're going to do that, we're going to do that. And the person is giving the information from their parallel life that's happening right now. And so that's all that practitioner does. I mean, there's more things too, but it's just, it doesn't need to happen. The person literally could have gotten this information on their own. And like I said, I think that there is something to it. There's something to someone going to someone because it makes people go, oh, okay, I'm going to do this instead of avoiding it. Because I've seen that under her, like this person specifically's videos. People are like, oh, I'm sick for your sessions. I can't wait to do this, but I don't know what's stopping me. So I can see that this is something that would help someone just like, like I said, start their journey. So I'm so into that and I'm very happy about that, but there's just so much of that. And those people are left by themselves. And I'm here by myself. And like I said, I've only found one other person who, even though they still use the terms that are very limiting, the the content is like she looks into it. So I don't know. It's something that I thought I was gonna talk not gonna talk about it, but I guess I'm talking about it now. And I don't know, it feels a bit lonely because I would love to work with people, but I guess they probably wouldn't, they would be mad at me because I would be like, no, it's, but anyway, I always have a reason. It's not like I'm just like, you're wrong, because it's not that they're wrong. It's that people, when they're, getting excited about this, they need to know that they're parallel. Because if you think it's past, they become almost like a little pet or something that you covet. They're not like equal. Think, oh, it's this passed away version of me or not ownership of it. I don't know. It's 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 a good, like I said, it's a great start, but it's not true when you start learning more things. So anyway, back to the content of the person who does the QHTT past life regression. The problem that I had was I know this is I don't know if people want to hear it, but I'll be quick. But basically, I am writing about this specifically. And not only am I writing about this so that I can do a podcast, because the podcasts are for kind of for humanity. It's not like to help people be who they are. Anyone can listen to it. It doesn't matter if you're, it's like, it's something that it's like almost like it's for more people basically. It's not for people who maybe want to go within or whatever. It's just anyone can listen to it and anyone can get something out of it. Like whether it's entertainment or some keys unlock or whatever, right? And so that's what kind of the podcast is like. But I'm super careful because the next part that I'm writing, I mean, I'm writing it right now. The next part that I am channeling and writing for the thing, I have spent so much time and still doing it to make sure that I'm not just telling a story and talking about things that I know. And I'm like, I think you're all about expansiveness. I am, because I found out some things. Yeah, I found out some things that, I could be like, "Oh no," because this is what they do, like people usually do. "Oh no, you're gonna be in trouble." And I'm like, but anyway, all the things that people are scared of, basically being expansive and learning about the bigger structure of stuff is going to help people feel empowered and not be like, scared of these demons and things like that that they think they're scared of. Um, and it just it fixes that fear. Like we already have fears, like real fears of like what's going on in our, society. Like why should we have to have fears of something just because we don't know the structure of it, right? But anyway, so that's basically anyway, so they were saying, I don't know why they did this, I don't know why they did that, but they did. And I'm like, I know why, because and I don't know everything, but I have an idea because of that, and then I can ask questions. Because if you don't have any idea, like just a tiny bit, or you don't even ask questions, then you don't have the questions. So anyway, I don't know why I went on a tangent with that, but it's too complicated. Like people even in the comments, uh like she has so many comments of people asking questions and she's not answering them because she literally had someone say these things in the session. I don't know, personally, I wouldn't even post a video after a session if I had not looked into it deeper. Like I just don't I know, yeah, but anyway. Yeah, so it is different for everyone. So Moon says which is the expansiveness, which is different for everyone. It is, but all these things that I've seen don't empower people at all. Like they don't. And they're not trying to be mean and they themselves are unempowering themselves. But like for example, naming the dimensions was not a good idea. That was one of the things that's like, you know, I think the only time we can number or not number but name is probably time periods. You can call those dimensions, but then there's like other things going on within those dimensions as well. Um, but yeah, you can think of them like dimensions kind of. So it's fun when people are like talking about the 5D, 3D stuff. They don't need to talk about that because it's basically, the layers thing I talked about a couple weeks ago where I talked about our layers that we project from. Um, that's what they are talking about when they talk about going to 5D and 4D. It has nothing to do with a different dimension. It has to do with you. So when I say you go within, the first layer is probably most people, not everybody, but most people is like, the wounds that you have, the sadness, issues that you ignored, or things you want to do, but you have anxiety because you want to do them. You start on that surface. And so that would be what people call probably 3D or whatever. And then you go inside, and this is all about us. And obviously, Earth has their own too, but that's a different thing because Earth is a different kind of energy than humans. We hold energy different. We have similarities because we're on Earth, but it's different. I think it's spoken that way to help others who are not yet awakened to understand. I agree, but these people act like that's all that there is. It's fine. The thing is if people were like, I'm doing beginning, you know what I mean? They're like, I'm doing beginning stuff. I'll be fine. And the thing is this is something I never talk about. So I don't know. I don't know if I need to do it. It's just there's these people I've known that have been doing it for a while, and they still talk about the same stuff. So, can you imagine anyone, it doesn't matter, like random people, they can do whatever they want, but if someone is being a practitioner, no, they have to grow, sorry. I'm gonna be strict. Before I was like, it's okay," because then there's these people that they're gonna find, and it's like the first step, which is fine, like I said, but it's only that because these people are refusing to grow. And I feel bad because I don't like that. I wanted people to do whatever they want. But I'm frustrated because they're not growing and they don't even wanna talk to me. I know this is embarrassing probably, but I'm always real with you guys, but I've, like, messaged people to do, collaborations and things like that, like even lives or something like that, or podcast things or whatever, and people are so weird. Like, they either don't answer me or they ignore what I said, and they just say, like, they heart or something like that, or a few people have scheduled stuff with me, and then they just don't do it, and I'm just like and then I've had other problems in the past too. Um, and it's I don't know, it's weird. I'm like, "Okay." 'Cause that's the thing is, like because, like, okay, so let's say they are beginnings. Hi. Let's say they are beginners, right? Let's say they're helping people with beginners. Can you imagine if because I can help both, but maybe people in the beginning won't, it depends, like, because of my energy, but I can help people if they're like, some people, I think usually that are in my energy, they're ready even if they're not ready, they're still gonna be ready for my stuff because I can, like, tailor it to any stage. I can help practitioners, I can help because it's about finding your purpose, so I can help anyone, and I know that's why I know that, what do you call it? That um, array of steps because that's the whole point. So anyone who just wants that, but that's the thing is they might not want it because they don't even know they want it. That's my problem basically, or not problem, but that's why people are not whatever. But anyway, if I could collaborate with these people, they might have some good POVs of like little kid things. Okay, have a good meeting. But like if I could collaborate with them and they're doing beginning stuff, then like I don't know. Whatever, it's okay. I'm moving on. It's funny, I'm doing YouTube at the same time, and there's, like, no one has come in the thing. I don't know how to know if people come in, but it's weird. It's weird that no one comes in, because on TikTok, people just come in, like random people. But on YouTube, it's not like, there's no one, not one person has come. It's okay. It's an experiment. So anyone who has just joined, feel free to ask a topic or uh, a question about spirituality. Um, yeah. And if you want any kind of to see my stuff, go look on my website. I've put little pictures with things on the side. Um, it's in my link in bio, so have a look. But go for it with the questions. Ugh. I had my moment when I was talking about how I'm sad about, yeah, spiritual community stuff. More like, what do you call it? Practitioners and stuff. I'm having a thing with, just, yeah, it's weird. It's hard when you're like the only one doing something. Like even when I picked the YouTube thing, it you can't there's never like a section for what I'm doing. It's always been like that in my life. Feel free to ask questions or topics. Oh, that's good. Did you go to the doctor or it just got better? Oh, no doctor visit. So Lily says, I feel spirituality is more business in the Western is just too much confusion. I mean, the thing is I'm aware of that. I know that there's like businesses and it to me it doesn't really matter because to me if someone is business minded and they're doing business things and uh they're doing all the things that you do for business basically. Like it's basically business. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just that I'm talking about the quality. So, yeah. But also I'm not I didn't the ones that the people I'm talking about are not I don't think they're business minded. Um but I don't think there's anything wrong with doing business things in I almost said fashion because that's what I used to do. In spirituality. It's just that, like I said, the quality of what is being talked about um, is still the same stuff, and I just don't understand. I mean, from a business sense, I guess it makes sense. You would want to do the same thing and compete and do all that stuff because that's what business is about. Like if you do a business, it is like competing, like a proper business. I like, I guess mine's kind of a business because I was doing fashion and I just like never stopped the structure of it. But it's not a business. Like I don't do any advertisements. I don't have very many followers. And I don't make sure I post and do things. I just do it when my energies say. Um, and yeah. Well, the thing is, oh, it's going away on its own. You kind of have to because everyone needs to pay for their food. Yeah. So the thing is I've told you guys, I still don't know. Like, I'm not being a business. I'm not competing. I'm not doing the things that you're supposed to do on the algorithms. Like, my latest videos have 200 views, and I've been on TikTok for a long time. Still don't have playlists. Um, and I still think things happen for a reason because I know that some of the people I've seen, they haven't done anything busy or whatever. They just get that stuff, and then there's reasons why, and I know why. I still don't know how I'm surviving. It just happens. I have like bills to pay like everybody else, and it just happens, and I still know how it's happening. But yeah, so yeah, I need to pay for my bills too. But um, I mean, personally, yeah. So I'm not talking about that because if I talk about that, I personally put more out there than I receive. um, and it's always been like that for me. And I'm trying to instead of waiting for other people or whatever, which in the fashion industry, I'm doing it for myself. So I'm not waiting for people to fill me up. So I will give and give and give, but I'll make sure that the stuff I'm not getting back, I give to myself. You know what I mean? So, for example, if I feel drained or whatever, I really make sure that I'm not like, I've done all the things that I used to be really strict with myself or mean to myself. They don't exist. Like, for example, I usually stay up because of my energies and things like that. And it's so random. I go to sleep at like 2, 3, and it's weird because before I was so mean to myself because of the conditioning of, oh my God, it's so late. Are you going to be okay? And I'm just like, when people say it, I'm like, whatever, I don't care. But before it bothered me, oh my God, there's something wrong with me. So those are the things I give back to myself. I'm like, I'm going to sleep, wake up whenever I can. I have a lot of stuff to do. And wise, and I know that there's a reason why, and I'm aware of it, whereas other people saying that they're worried in a structured like work way, and they don't understand that, like, and I remember it's not like I don't know, when I was working nonstop in companies and stuff, I was exhausted and weird feeling even when I got the right amount of sleep, like perfectly at the right time that everybody wants you to do. I felt go. And so now it's for the first time in my life, it feels natural and I don't feel weird. Like, how people are like, oh, like the difference and stuff. I go with it, but I make sure that I'm taking care of myself though. Yeah, I feel like nothing wrong with it, but I feel like people are getting the right guiding. But what they're not getting is like because the practitioners, I don't care if it's a business or not, it doesn't matter. The practitioners need to grow. And all the people I've seen, there's only one. Most of them do not grow. They stay in, I don't know, like a weird recipe book themselves even, and they don't grow. Um, and what I mean by grow, it's not just it should be obvious, but apparently not for them. Yourself. There's also the growth of understanding the structures of bigger things. So if you don't understand the bigger structure of things, you're going to be like, that is evil and a demon, and that is not helpful for someone. Because even if it was, and like I said, as in like, that's their translation of something that's happening, that's still not the person because that's not the bigger picture. So that's what I mean by growing. It's expanding your knowledge of how things work on Earth, bigger. Where does this person come from? Even if they want to be practitioners and they want to do business or not, doesn't matter. They need to know those things because where the problem lies. It's the quality. That's what we're gonna do on the live. I'm not judging it. It's an exchange of energy, but the quality. Yeah, I'm just talking about the quality. Like, it doesn't matter. Oh, you go, girl. Tori quit her job. She's one of us. You won't regret it. But yeah, it's for me, it's not, the part is that it's just, I don't know. I'm not gonna lie, it's not easy, but I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, if you have questions about this, even we can talk about that. That can be the theme of the live today. I don't mind. I was really upset this morning. I had to talk to one of my big energies, and I was, it's just, for me, it's always works, and there's like weird thing that goes on. So I started chatting to so it's my energy that split themselves up for the specific thing that's going on right now. Like, that was basically me. And I learned all this new stuff about myself. I kind of knew because they were telling me, but I was like, every time they tell me big things, I'm like, oh my God, no, there's no way. But they're like, please accept it. And so I finally accepted it, and I was freaking out when I accepted it. And yeah, if you guys want, I can share it with you. They said it's okay, but only if you're interested. But basically, I was freaking out, and they said to do 20 like breath work kind of breaths and then just see what happens. And when I did, yeah, I felt better. And it's weird because usually when these things happen and it's like shadow work time, I'm in so much pain, like my heart is in so much pain. But I just, since last week, when I'm feeling these triggers and I'm talking to that version of me that's triggered, the person in the now is not in pain, but I'm still, oh, you're interested? Okay, I'll talk a little bit about it. You guys can ask questions because then I'll learn more. This is all I know. So this is weird. Like, you know how I don't like to talk about myself, but because you're interested, I will do it. So basically, I have officially embodied that energy I'm talking about in my body. And the part that I'm embarrassed about and sounds grandiose and weird, and I was just not accepting it because they were trying to tell me in different ways, like throughout, like for a month almost. But I've fully embodied it, and it's different. It's complicated because when people say they fully embodied their higher self. Remember how higher self is holding all the, like, let's say the anchor points or all the parts of you. It's different for me in this case, and everyone can do this, by the way, but mine is different because of what's happening, and it's that avatar system. So apparently, I'm the only and first person to do this. And I can see why, because it's not perfect. But basically, first, it's been a few months. It's been, I think it's been about 3 weeks, where it's about how my energy, most of my energy that I hold as a human, was filled with this energy, right? So it's filled, it's full, it's like complete. But peace still is operating like how I always was, like a typical, going through all the different seasons and things like that. So I have this huge chunk that is able to just not even worry about getting in contact. I am the energy. It's not like I'm talking, but sometimes when I'm in that, anyway. So the first problem was I was literally flowing into this tiny piece, and the tiny piece, other people have like, I have, so you guys have met Ruby, my friend, and then my partner. Both of them are 50-50. So they're doing the same thing, but like it's a different reason. And they're holding the energy for everybody. It's like opening the veil of all the nonsense and things that we still need to work on, but lifting it a bit for people so they have peeks into themselves, not into random stuff, but their own energy. They get peaks just when they're around me and these other people and things like that. And I'm a tiny bit because I'm at the same time as I'm doing that project. I'm also doing the Avatar project, which is for all of Earth, not just this learning teaching dimension that we're in. And there's also a thing I talked to you guys about where there was a problem where the energies, they did not change everything, add to it. And they were like talking back and forth forever. And finally, I think it was Sunday or something like that, they made sure that everything is ready to go, like for everyone, it's ready. And they can do this. They can learn about themselves and stuff like that. It's very complicated, and I'm not allowed to talk about it too much yet because it's gonna make feel weird, because this is what people have been doing with the New Earth. People wrote books about it and said all the things, and they didn't really know, it was too abstract. And they didn't even have access to energy because it wasn't even happening yet. And so they made up all these weird stories that were the best to explain it and got people prepared. So much so that to this day, people are still talking about what those people chanted and acting like it's still happening. They're like, this is happen. This is going to happen. New Earth is going to 5G. Like, they have all these words, but actually it's already happened. And the humans are catching up with it slowly. So that feeling of ascension symptoms and all that stuff is humans' bodies and the human realize how much more space they have to embody whatever they need to, right? There's other things going on. It's not this system. So to this, like forever, there has not been an avatar on Earth. Avatars have visited in those little areas, but instead it is like this program is just like the person embodies it. I can't go into details of those unless people ask specific questions, but the first problem I was having is if you think of like this little water thing going like this, I was like going into that small part of me that's holding things up with other people energetically. And I kept going into that. And so all the things that are happening to people right now because of the seasons, they're streaming. All these things are happening. Like I was able to do all these big things. Like I've basically set up my own little thingy that if you go to my website, I did all of that by myself. Like no one helped me. I made the whole website, everything. Like I have all the different things. And I was able to do that while I'm like dying basically with everybody else with the, you know, crazy season stuff. And so what happened was I, just like everybody else, wasn't aware that I have a big energy like here, like in me, kind of. So it looks like that visually, but for us to see, but it is like me basically. And so I was like going into that. And if you think about it, it's a small amount of energy. So I'm going to feel even worse than most people. It's going to be horrible because I don't have my full energy. And I wouldn't be able to speak to myself or other energies or whatever. It was really crazy. Anyway, so that's what happened. But now I found out that I've embodied all of it and I'll also manage that well, like I know. And then on top of that, I learned, which I have to teach everybody soon, which a lot of people might already know or already have done it, but they need to be conscious that they did it, is becoming almost like a mother or a caregiver to your ego. So it includes things that you love, that you've created, and your memories. It includes things that scare you. It includes your triggers. It includes everything, right? It happened to me, and it just happened recently. And it's really cute. I literally will see, I can see I didn't have this before. I can see what I'm going to say when I get, I feel the feeling of the trigger, and I can see the version of me that is, and I can quickly, I did it very quickly, like it's happened many times, say, you know what, remember, I'm in the now, I've got this girl, we're going to do this instead, and I'm going to turn this shit into gold. Like, that's what I tell her, and I'm like, trust me, and then she trusts me because I've done it times, she means versions of me. And we just like go through it and it's fine. Or if I'm freaking out because I can't do something, but I'm excited about it, like for example, so for example, when I'm working on like art and stuff like that and I get freaked out, I tell that version of myself, which is probably the fashion one when I did fashion. I was like, oh, okay, like don't worry, we have all the time, it's fine. It's just we're not doing it today. And even if we just decide randomly to do it, that's fine too. So becoming like your best friend, a mentor and a mother and a father and whatever to those versions of you, and being able to keep doing that very quickly and naturally. So anyway, so then when that happens, you become like a mom, like a parent. And the problem is like when you become a parent like that, you start to want what's best for your creation and your child, right? You're like, wait a second. So I'm like ready to just, you know, like I trust my little, you know, self to do things and be okay. But the reason why I freaked out today is I was sad for my little project, my ego, because it's not fair that I have like I do that stuff. It's not, I want what's best for her, and it's like 200 views is like really weird. Like it doesn't make sense. And like I had so many weird restrictions that have happened on my TikTok, and lots of weird things have been happening, not from my behavior, because like I said, I give more than I get, so I've had to like give more to myself, for myself. And I was like, what's going on? And so they're saying it's that. It's like, okay, obviously that sucks and there's bigger reasons behind it. But the reason why you're feeling upset about, I was worried. I'm like, am I forgetting like I didn't see my ego? And they're like, no, it is your bigger energy feeling sad for them. So anyway, That's it. Oh, you agree? I had a pattern of thought that came back heavy last week. I think for me to heal again. Yes, that's what that means. It means you're ready for that. No digging. I don't recommend digging, but when that happens, it means you're prepared. And even if you're not prepared in that moment, it means you're prepared when you're prepared. Like it's like maybe it's not the right time, but like maybe in a few hours or tomorrow or something like that. But it means you are ready when you say you're ready. Oh, you agree? Of course. I don't mind sharing. It's just I don't like to like come out with it. Like, people will just say like they'll do a whole video. They'll be like, ah. I've only done one. I did one dramatic video, but a good like I won't say it on here because who knows what's gonna happen if I say something. But I said something, um, and basically, I don't know. They banned me for like a week. And like I said, I've seen people say like really horrible things. I even saw a guy on live swearing and being aggressive and loud when he has his kid on his lap to someone, and then the other people are like, "Please, like, don't do that." They clearly are happy and might have even supported him, and nothing happened to him. And I'm like, "What?" There's like a child involved, and like, yeah. Anyway, oh, of course. But yeah, and the other thing also is I learned about like when that those disagreements between those energies happened, that when it was the one where they're going to expand it more and stuff like that for the learning teaching dimension, I was like excited because I was excited for my little ego baby. I was like, yay, because like now like when you do something you get support, and it doesn't work that way because it's the beginning, so the humans have to catch up. The energy is ready to go, but the human stuff, the systems, has to catch up. But yeah, what's authentic? I kind of feel like Nicole is Gandalf, and we are all little hobbits traveling and learning stuff. But the thing is if I'm Gandalf, I want you all to be Gandalf. That's like my, or not even Gandalf, but like your own version of what Gandalf is. Oh, I mean, I'm a bit embarrassed because to me, I usually don't talk like that in general because I'm embarrassed because it's like, when it's lonely to be the only one, but also it sounds like you're so special being the only one or whatever. And like it's not just me, like I've always like every time I've had like other practitioner friends or whatever, they've always told me that. They're like, and I'm like, no. And they're like, yes. So it's not like just me like being embarrassed. Like I've been embarrassed when people have told me. They're like, "Do you know that you're blah blah blah?" And I'm like, "No, please. I do know, but don't tell me that." Because like not me, I mean me now, but before the other ener- the I was like I knew that I was just like, oh, my energy is like cool and famous and stuff. But now I can't, I just can't say that anymore. That's so like Gandalf to say, like, go on your own adventure. Yeah. That's what I always like every time. Like I remember when I was young, like when someone copied or something, when we were or something like that, and someone copied, I was like, I want to see what you would do. You're keeping that from me. I was so sad like that. And the kids were like, what? I've been talking about how when I was like, I think like from, I had a weird phase when I was like 4-ish where I was so confused what kids were like, "Bah, bah, bah, bah," like that. And I'm just like, why are you doing that? And they would do weird things. Like I remember this kid, um, brought dirt and put it all over the slide, and I'm like, "Why are you doing that?" And they wouldn't have an answer, or they would run away and be like, "Ah!" like that, and I'm like, "Why are they doing?" And I'd ask the teachers and stuff. I would be like, "Why? Like, why are they doing?" I just feel like that. I'm just like, "What's going on?" And yeah, maybe they're not developed, but I'm just like, "But why not?" I still don't know what that is. It's weird. I don't want to explore it either because who knows? They'll probably say something grandiose again, and I'm gonna be like, "No!" Hello, Fiona. Oh, I can't find my charger. Hopefully, I don't disappear. But yeah, it's just weird. But anyway, so I have that too by teeth, and they're like, "Yeah," and I'm like, if I do go on, especially since these kind of things make me sad because I again, it's the same thing as I always do. I when I watched it, or every time I watched it, I'm like, they just don't give any character to those characters. Like, why are they so angry, and why are they having issues? Like, what happened to them? Oh, I actually know, like, I know where that comes from, but they don't show it to just like, "They're evil and ugly," and I'm like, "No, something happened. Doesn't just happen from nowhere." I know a lot of people don't think that, but that's usually what it is. But yeah, let's go to the mountain. Oh, the puzzle. Yeah, it's so weird to me. I know I keep, like, doing that today, those kind of choices. Like, they did so much cool stuff, not they, he, much cool I mean, also they, because the movies portrayed them, like, just so one-dimensional. I'm like, and speak to the magical. Yeah, no one's come on the I don't know if I'm like, maybe I'm recording on YouTube. I don't know what's happening, like, no one's come on it at all. I don't know if I'm doing it wrong and it's just me making a video. It's living rent free in your brain. Does someone wanna check? I don't know if it's gonna even work. Does someone wanna check and go on my YouTube and see if it even shows up? Because it's so weird, like, no movement. That's how I YouTube and TikTok or and sorry, Instagram. I feel like I had a dream last night about me being an extremely over mother about mothering our ego. Oh, I see Lisa. Thank you, Lisa. Oh, thank you. Okay, so it is working. It's still weird though. Like, but it's us by ourselves. I mean, I'm doing this because it automatically because on okay, so when I download TikTok stuff, I have to download it and then upload it onto YouTube. It was really dramatic when I did that today. I don't mind. I did, this is the laptop. on this anyway, it's okay. Yeah, I always feel like a ghost. I mean, not in the real sense. There is a ghost that I had to it was a few days ago. Usually I put things up so that I don't deal with the ghosts. I have it with me that's a psychopomb. I have actually other ones, but there's like a main, like kind of like one in charge that's a version of me, and it's complicated. And so I didn't say the other part about my stuff. So not only have I embodied it, but all the other versions of me, they have a choice when they're alive and also when they move on to because remember how there you know how so the one that passed on is still existing but in a different one. So it's just instead of it being like it's gone, that one exists now, and then they just keep going and going and going, right? And so um, I have a weird thing like between each of the social medias, and some of them I just like Facebook. I can't like it makes me feel ill. Um, but whatever you call it, YouTube, I still don't know what's happening. I'm like, oh, the I've done tiny little shorts and stuff. People see that, but it's weird. I